Hey there guys, it's me again. So in an earlier video, I talked about how we're looking at opening up an online version of the school to help people specifically with SCA fighting. So it's going to be called SCA Dojo. I'm going to host it on an online school site. It's going to have courses, videos, and it's going to have discussion boards. So it's really going to be a community that's dedicated to learning and training SCA combat. And it's more from the martial arts perspective. It doesn't get into a lot of the politics of the SCA or modern day or any of that. It's strictly for learning SCA combat and focusing on it as a martial art. So, like I said, SCA Dojo, it should be up, starting sometime soon. I mean, the space is already reserved. It's just there's nothing up there. So don't go joining it or anything else right now. So some people might ask, why am I going to do a space just for SCA, right? So I want to do a School of Chivalry online school as well for broad-based, generalized sword fighting technique, philosophy, everything else. But the SCA itself is its own sort of it's its own creature, right? It's got its own rules, its own culture, its own weapon systems, everything else. So it is its own distinct subculture of sword fighters, right? And a big reason to separate it away, to be honest with you, is sword fighting nerds, like all of us, we're pretty toxic at times, right? I mean, we're pretty pretentious. Whether or not you come from SCA or you come from Boohurt or you come from reenactment or HEMA or LARP or whatever, everybody's got an opinion, right? And so you get all this bickering, cross sport, cross activity bickering going, well, that's stupid. Why do they do that? Well, that way sucks. Our way is better. That sort of thing. The reality is every system has benefits and negatives, right? None of them are realistic, fully realistic. We're not stabbing and killing people, so we'll never make it close to actual sword fighting, right? So in order to kind of keep the participants in the community and the videos and the content, comments, and everybody helping each other out focused, it's going to be just SCA fighting. It's not going to include stuff from the outside. So that should keep everything nice and compartmentalized so we can, stay focused on helping each other get better. Another thing that comes up, another point, is that it is going to be a paid site. A nominal payment, $29 or whatever the different tiers are going to be. And there's multiple reasons for that. The first reason is, and it's been shown in thousands of studies, if you pay for something, you consider it to be valuable. And even if it's not, even if you don't use it, in your mind, you associate the fact that you pay for it, that it has a certain level of worth. No matter how good the information is, when it's free, people kind of take it or leave it, right? I've taught tons of people over time, and it never fails. It's like when you're teaching them for free, which I do most of the time, it's so much easier to just not go than if you're actually paying a monthly. It also focuses people on staying on task, right? If you're paying a membership on a site, a community, the message boards or whatever else, the courses, the lessons, you're more likely to actually watch them and follow through on it if you're actually invested in it, physically, mentally, and financially, even just a tiny bit. So it's going to be a paid site. It'll help fund more research, more videos, more travel, so that I can cruise around and fight people and interview people and learn more techniques and bring those in. So the second reason why it'll be a paid community is to keep out the trolls. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of us in not just sword fighting groups, but nerd cultures, subgroups, fan groups, whatever, have a tendency to be a little toxic at times. Let our worst natures come out a little too much when we're anonymous, right? So having a fee on it, where it's just not just free for everybody to throw their 2 cents in on everything, it also keeps down the trolls, the trolling. So I really just want a community of guys who want to get good at fighting, who want to go through the processes, learn from each other, and help each other become better fighters. I don't have a lot of time or desire for drama, for SCA politics, for modern politics. None of that belongs there. It is straight up just a bunch of stick jocks learning about fighting. Everything else you can do on your own time. Okay, so we got that. It's going to be a community. Like I said, it'll have message boards. It'll have videos. We'll do like video reviews. It'll have courses and all that. A big reason why I want to do this, and I've always wanted to teach, is helping people out. So I've been teaching here at the school for, since the middle of last year or whenever it was. And I've been teaching for, decades now, helping people with SCA and steel fighting and whatever else. And mostly as a hobby, right? That's why I want to do it. So I really want to build it up so that I can reach as many people as need help. Why should somebody want to do an online school for SCA fighting? Well, first of all, if you're into SCA fighting, right? Second of all, who's helping you now? Do you have people close to you who are actively trying to help you get better? Or are they just interested in beating you up and making themselves feel better? I realize that a ton of people have access to talent, right? And if you are fortunate enough to have somebody close to you who wants to train you, wants to help you out, that's awesome. That's super great. We need a lot more of that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who live out in the middle of nowhere, or they're not in with the right crowds, or they don't want to squire to somebody, or for whatever reason. There's a lot of people kind of left out in the cold, left to discovering this on their own. And that doesn't just take years. Sometimes that takes decades to get good. I like the idea of my students getting good in like 6 months to a year, not, years or decades. So if you don't have anybody else to help you out, this is a prime opportunity for you to at least have contact with somebody who actually wants you to get better, wants to help you get better. I don't care about, beating you up and proving how much better I am than you. Here's the reality. There's better fighters out there than me, right? Plenty. I could be a lot better if I played actively. I've just been, I focus on the martial art and not as much being in the game nowadays. The game's changed a lot. So I just spend my time with the martial art. But there are so many really good fighters out there, right? There are so many people that I want to fight and lose to and learn from a lot because I want to assimilate that, right? So don't think I'm saying that I'm the best fighter in the world, right? I can destroy everyone, because it's not true, right? I mean, maybe if I trained a lot, I could do it. I mean, I don't totally suck at fighting. I'm pretty good, and I'm really pretty good at teaching people and helping people out. But there are great fighters out there. If you can learn from them, awesome. The whole point is leverage as many angles as possible so that you can improve. So the point of that little tangent is I'm not saying I'm the best fighter, the best teacher, or the whatever. But guess what? I'm willing to help you. Who else out there is trying to help you? Yes, some of the guys I like, whatever, they've made a handful of little videos, but nobody's actually coalesced anything together that I know of to actually help people step by step learn how to fight, right? They kind of keep it to themselves, or they just kind of teach it casually in person. And like I said, there's a few, videos out there that kind of teach you maybe some basic stuff, but overall, there's not enough of them. There's not continuity. There's not a big volume of things to learn. So one of the big aspects of the SCA Dojo is to, once again, take the tiers, the different scales, levels of knowledge, and lay them out and do write-ups for them, and along with that, videos that people can watch to learn the various skills and techniques and movements and philosophies, everything for fighting at the various different stages of your fighting career, right? Kind of not quite SCA fighting for dummies, but you know what I'm saying. An actual structured program that people can follow and learn. It's not the end all be all. It's not comprehensive. There are so many different ways that people fight and throw shots and do things. And what I teach works, and it works to a certain extent. Now, how well it works in your local area, you'll find out, right? But that's why I'm going to start traveling and start researching more and bringing more that I can to you. So basically, I'm trying to say, don't expect me to have all the answers. I've got plenty of answers and I'm pretty opinionated. When I say, hey, do it like this, it means do it like this at this moment in the lesson in your learning path. Eventually, you may do it entirely differently. It's up to you to learn from every source you can, coalesce that together into your own Kung Fu style, and get rid of the stuff that doesn't really work for you. So, SCA Dojo, it should be, I should start flushing out a lot more videos and content on it this month, and I'll keep you guys updated, you know. And if you're an SCA person and you want to come join, you know, and help shape a starting community, let me know. I'll be taking suggestions for the content videos, mostly from the people I know and the people who are in the group and chatting away. So let me know. I will probably launch another online school for, you know, more broad-based swordsmanship that covers all the subjects. It's just SCA itself needs to have its own dedicated space for learning. So that's what I'm going to bring here in the near future. Within the next month or two, it should be, you know, ready with a decent amount of content in it. And I know pretty much my students from here will be shifting over to that as soon as we close this place up. So in the meantime, I'm going to be looking for people throughout the country to come and visit, to come and learn from, maybe teach something if they want to learn something, but hopefully learn from a lot of people and continue to increase the knowledge base in the dojo. Hopefully, eventually, we get multiple teachers and multiple input from many, many sources throughout the SCA. That's what I'd really want. I really want a place that's a fighting community that's focused on fighting, focused on sharing, focused on helping each other get better, and letting go of all the other struggles. Like I said, the SCA politics, the modern politics, anything else that like divides us or whatever else. I don't have any room for that in the dojo. It's just going to be about fighters there to get better, to learn, to excel, and at the same time, to help each other get better. So stay tuned, check it out when it launches, and let me know if you have any suggestions or you want me to come visit you on my travels around the US. Okay, I'll talk to you later.